So it's about 9:10 and we're leaving Animal Kingdom for the last time.
It's past 9:10. 12 past 9.
Okay, it's 12 minutes past 9. So tonight is our last night here in the Animal Kingdom. So park closes at 10 and we do plan to stay here until that time. So yeah, the weather's glorious, the sun's about to set and we're going over to Pandora. Like I said, the two girls have got flight passage, so I might get them to record it and then we'll just have a wander around and see what we can do after that. So we're going to go down to see the Tree of Life. And we're going to have a look. Wow.
That's fake. That's fake. Them leaves are fake. I know they are. Wait, is this part of the trick?
Oh wow. Nice here. Oh, what's around here? A little cupboard. A little cupboard. A little cupboard. Rhino. Oh, you can see all the blue on the tree. Heading over the bridge into Africa. The park is an hour off closing and it's pretty quiet. It's amazing in here at night time. Actually all the parks are, to be fair. Welcome to Harambee, port of East Africa. Wouldn't your mum like something like that?
Oh God, we've been there. Do you know that big massive elephant
Yeah.
in the corner? That's $665.
Wow.
It's because it's handcrafted. He's the one that makes them over there.
What's in there?
Pretzel.
It's like a ghost town here in Animal Kingdom. We're going on to the safari and it doesn't look like anybody else's. So as if you stay right till end, you can get onto stuff straight away. Sounds like there's some people down here. Hi, you alright?
I am Walt, the Wilson YouTuber, and I am happy to welcome you to Harambee Wildlife Reserve. I hope that your visit will give you new appreciation and respect for Africa's magnificent living treasures.
It's okay though, these seats get a little bit more bumpy than those ones.
I was all over the place earlier.
Oh, me too. That's a good start to me. Asante Sana. And as we say here in Harambee, Twin Day, which means let's go. Jambo everyone and welcome to Kilimanjaro Safaris. My name is Ryan. It's my pleasure to have you joining me this evening as we travel through the Harambee Wildlife Reserve. Looks like we have the all clear from the warden, so we're free to head on in. I will ask for for the safety of the animals and the comfort of those around you, you refrain from the use of any flash photography. We also ask that you do not use flashlights of any kind. Now this first area we're coming into here is the Little Lettieri Forest. The Little Lettieri Forest is home to a lot of animals that use camouflage to their advantage. You definitely have to keep your eyes peeled to spot some of the animals that live out here. Actually, if you look in you can just see the shadow of one way up there by the bamboo. That's an okapi up there. And okapi are very recognizable from the zebra-like stripes that you can clearly see in the daylight here. Those zebra-like stripes generally have people confused, thinking that they are related to zebras. In fact, okapi are actually the closest living relative to the giraffe. They have the same skull structure. That means that their heads look almost identical to giraffes. They also have the same long prehensile tongues. That means finger-like tongues, so they can reach out with their tongue and grab onto any leaves they want to eat and pull it back to their mouths. It's actually kind of cool to see. Those tongues can be as long as your
look, the
forearm.
rhino's out.
Hi, Rhino.
Rhino.
Now here on the left-hand side, as some people have also stated, we have some black rhinos. That's a good eye you have.
Hi, Rhino.
Now, black rhinos, like the ones you can see over here getting his feet wet, are some of the largest animals in Africa. They can actually weigh up to 3,000 pounds.
Wow, that's a very big rhino.
Even with all that size, they're actually capable of running at speeds up to 35 miles an hour.
Who needs a car? Just get around.
Unfortunately for these animals, they are very heavily poached for their horns.
Oh.
There's less than 5,000 of them left in the world today because of it. And generally, it's because a lot of people seem to believe that rhino horns have medicinal purposes to them. In reality, though, those horns are actually made from keratin, which is, you might not have heard of before, but it's actually the same material your hair and fingernails are made out of. Very commonly available, and I haven't exactly heard of biting fingernails solving any colds, but to each their own. Now, as we come a little bit further in, we are coming into a little bit denser brush. Now, during the day, these animals use that camouflage to their advantage. At nighttime, though, they can add on, nighttime and the cover of darkness to that list of camouflage. That makes them very, very difficult to spot and thus protected from a lot of predators quite well. Now, I could tell all of you that there's probably some animals back there, and you probably believe me, but it's very, very difficult to see. Yeah, those animals will actually become more active at nighttime inside the forest. They can use that cover of darkness to go forage for food. So during the day, they try to hide out the best they can, but at nighttime you can see them walking around pretty easily. Now we have come up to the Safi River region here. Safi River is a great place here on the reserve to keep an eye out for some of the animals that like to spend the majority of their day in and around the waters. I don't see anybody right now on the right-hand side, but I know the river continues up on the left. You might have some better luck over there. And actually, yeah, it's really nice and dark over there, but
Hippo.
if I get the light just right, you might be able to see some blobs in the water. Those are actually hippos.
I can see one.
Now, hippos are some of the largest animals, much larger than black rhinos. They can actually weigh up to 5,500 pounds. They will spend the majority of their days in the water. Once the sun is completely set, though, they will come out of the water onto the banks of the rivers. They can walk for miles at a time in an effort to graze on the grasses, but they'll always come back to the water before the sun rises. They do that so that they can beat the heat of the sun and stay as cool as possible. And these kind of grayish-white birds you see on the island over here are pink-backed pelican. They get their name because of the pinkish color that appears on their backs and between their wings during mating season. As we come around this corner here, we are coming up to one of the older bridges on the reserve. This bridge has definitely seen some better days, but I'm going to take it nice and slow across, and we should hopefully make it. Yeah, those are reassuring words if I've ever heard them. Now, if you look really carefully, you can see kind of the dark blobs on the bank of the river way over there, kind of under the big bushes. Those are actually Nile crocodile. Nile crocodile can grow anywhere from 16 to 20 feet long. They can weigh up to 900 pounds. In order to keep up with that massive size, the animals are all known to eat up to half of their body weight in food in a single sitting. And while you might think that they are completely vicious animals, they actually do have a soft and tender side too. When their babies are first hatching from their eggs, they'll actually pick the eggs up in their mouths and roll them around really gently on their tongues. That helps the babies to hatch out of the eggs. It's actually a really cool thing to witness. You might only think that they are very, very vicious animals, so it's really cool to hear about that kind of less vicious side of them. Now on the right-hand side here, you can see a baobab tree. Baobab tree is also known as the upside-down tree, that's right. They get that name because they'll remain leafless for how many months out of the year? 9, that's right. Those massive trunks will actually hold thousands of gallons of water at a time. And so the animals that live out here on the savannah will actually rely on those trees as a source of water. I love giraffes too, and hopefully we'll be able to see some of them down here. If we're lucky, we might even be able to see a tower of giraffe. We'll definitely keep our eyes peeled for them.
Oh, look how beautiful that looks.
I can see a baby one.
Sorry, you said you wanted me to hit all of the bumps, right?
I can see a baby one over there. I see it.
On the right-hand side over here, you can see those huge cattle with those massive horns on the top of their heads. Those are called Ankole cattle. Ankole cattle are also known as Watusi. The different species of giraffe are distinguishable because of those different shapes that make up their spot patterns. Those spot patterns are sort of like fingerprints for humans. Each one is unique to the animal, and they help to identify the other members of the tower. Now, they are the tallest animals in the world, growing anywhere from 16 to 20 feet tall. Do you have any idea how tall a young giraffe can be when it's first born?
12 feet.
12 feet's a little tall. They're actually 6 feet. 6 feet tall right out of their mothers. Yeah, you can see some lions.
Oh, look, they're moving as well.
Simba and Nala.
Yeah, and do you know what Simba translates to mean? Simba is actually the Swahili word for lion.
That makes total sense. Oh, look, he knows we're here. Oh, look. Oh, wow. He's looking over.
I bet he's looking at us thinking dinner. Oh, yeah.
It's beautiful, isn't it?
Dinner.
You know, and while that might be the case, or might not, I don't know what they're thinking, the male lions are not actually the ones to do the hunting. It's actually the female lions. The males will kind of lay back and protect the pride while the females go off and hunt. They only really are active at night. They are what's known as a nocturnal species. And that's because their eyesight during the day is about the same as a human's, but at nighttime it gets to be about 6 times better.
Is there only one lion in there?
I'm very sorry?
There's only one lion in there?
Oh, there's one male and 2 females that I've seen up there on the rocks right now. Lions will actually sleep for about 20 hours of their day.
Whoa.
That's quite a lot of rest.
Oh, yeah.
Stop here for a second so everybody gets a good view of the lioness as well.
She's beautiful.
Now, one of the really cool things that lions can do is roar. Their roars can actually be heard from up to 5 miles away. Absolutely loud. It's the only word that you can use to describe their roars. And it's a beautiful sight to hear and see if you are so lucky. On the right hand side over here, just in the headlights, you can see this bontebok. That's that antelope over there. Yeah, and behind the bontebok you can also see there's an ostrich laying down as well as 2 of them standing up. Ostriches are actually the largest bird species in the world. They're also the largest flightless bird species in the world. Similar to penguins, they can't actually fly. On the right-hand side over here, though, you can see some ostrich eggs laying down on the ground. Ostrich eggs are the largest eggs in the world, weighing in at about 3 pounds each. For a frame of reference, that's about the same as 2 dozen chicken eggs. As a matter of fact, speaking of chickens, when an ostrich first hatches, it's already the same size as a full-grown adult chicken. Now those Bontebok that you saw back there, they're really, really pretty. They have a really cool story about them too. As a matter of fact, when you look at them in the sunlight, their coat gets a beautiful purplish hue to it. Unfortunately for them though, that hue made them very susceptible to poaching. At one point they were poached so heavily there were only 17 of them left in the world. It was only because of a quick-thinking farmer who decided to build a fence around the last remaining 17 of them. Well, that combined with the fact that Bontebok are well known for being some of the most unathletic animals in Africa, that they're actually safe from extinction. They actually didn't manage to jump over the fence. Nowadays, they're doing quite well in the wild, in conservation efforts and reserves like this one, where worldwide their numbers are well into the thousands. It's a really amazing example of how just a simple change can really affect an entire species. Now we are driving through Magadi Glen. Magadi Glen translates to mean hot spring, and that's exactly what you find here. Unfortunately though, there aren't too many animals that I saw out there right now. It is one of the newer areas on our reserve, and thus it doesn't have too many animals that are very familiar with the land. As more animals do get more familiar though, I wouldn't be surprised if they start making appearances more often. Unfortunately though, as we are coming around these turns, that does mean we have left the reserve this evening, and that unfortunately means our safari is coming to an end. I don't know about everyone back there, but I think we had a really amazing safari, and we got to see a lot of amazing animals out there today. If we have any wilderness explorers with us, you have been riding on Symbol 1, SIMVA1. As we learned before, that translates to Lion 1. That's going to be very useful for earning your safari badge. If you are still trying to earn your badge this evening, and those wilderness explorers have already packed up camp for the evening, you can definitely stop by Guest Relations, and they would be more than happy to help you earn your badge. Now, as we are coming around this corner, that does mean we are coming back into Harambe, and therefore our safari is about to end. My name has been Ryan, and it's been my absolute pleasure having you aboard today as we travel through the Harambe Wildlife Reserve. If you have any questions at all about any of the animals or anything you've seen in general here on the reserve, feel free to come up to the front of the truck at the end once you've gotten off, and I'll be more than happy to answer any questions you have. In the meantime, though, it is time to part ways, and instead of saying goodbye, we like to say a Swahili phrase here in Harambe, and that Swahili phrase is kwaherini. It translates to roughly mean go well. And so, my friends, kwaherini, go well, go wild, and enjoy the rest of your evening wherever your adventures may take you.
So we just got off the safari, and unlike in the daytime, Ryan, the guy that was driving the truck, kept on stopping, especially around where the lions were. So the safari was a hell of a lot longer than it is in the daytime. So the great thing about coming on an evening is that rides last longer, and also the parks are empty, and you can just walk around, chill, have a good time. So I think we're going to go have a look in a merchandise shop now. But this is our goodbye to Animal Kingdom, unless we decide to come here on Saturday. So we've got a free day. But yeah, it's pretty sad. This is our favourite. But not our last time, we will be back, I'm sure. Having a good time down here. A live band on. So it's about 9:10 and we're leaving Animal Kingdom for the last time.
It's past 9:10. 9.
Okay, it's 12 minutes past 9 and this is the last time we're going to be in Animal Kingdom until the next time we come, whenever that may be. And it's not even that busy really, is it? And the nice surprise is that we had all the holographics on the tree, which I didn't know about, so that was quite special to spend the night with. It's lovely and cool. We're going to head back to the resort now. I'm starving, so I'm going to get some food.
Yeah, we are.
Don't know about Ellie. These two have eaten today, aren't they?
No, we ate at about 2 or 3, so we've not had something for long. I'm going to get that pizza that I had earlier. Well, no.
That's what she says. So yeah, tomorrow, I don't even know where we are tomorrow.
What day is it tomorrow?
I'd say probably Magic Kingdom maybe? Oh no, we're at Magic Kingdom on Sunday, so are we at Hollywood Studios tomorrow? Oh no, I know where we are tomorrow. We're at SeaWorld. So SeaWorld tomorrow, that'll be quite interesting because we've never been. Go see the orcas. I'm presuming it's going to be a very early start, so more time to get tired. So anyway, we're going to head back. Hey guys, Dave here. Thanks ever so much for watching today's video. If you like what you saw, then please feel free to head on over to my channel, Disney D Vlogs. You can also hit that subscribe button, hitting the notification bell to stay up to date with all the latest in Disney news and other tidbits, and you'll be sure to catch us on our next adventure. Thanks guys.